Hello viewers, Super GT here. I am playing a bit of Forza Motorsport 7, back on good old Wreckfest for a while. So just going to race in S-Class for a bit, see what all sorts of atrocities we can witness on this fine evening today. So kicking things off, we're going to go for the Corvette around Watkins Glen, starting dead last, 21st out of 21. And Watkins Glen, despite all of the space on the exit of the first corner, it always kicks off here. So let's see where we can emerge coming into the S's. So already you can see all manner of depravity occurring, and it's only on a straight line there. And we've already got into a top 10 position, up into 9th, up into 8th. So from 21st to 8th, not really doing anything good, just avoiding everyone else's stupidity. And that's the key to success in Forza Motorsport Online, clearly. Into the chicane, Viper out of nowhere, into the side of James Bond, and he goes really wide and just comes back with an awful rejoin straight into the wall on the other side. So quite what I'm witnessing here, I just don't know. And this was my very first race back on in quite a while. So, you know, what a welcome, eh? Just everyone crashing as per usual, everyone just rejoining at 90 degrees, straight onto the other side of the track, crashing into the barriers, no one leaving each other space. And it's only lap 1 of race 1, so plenty of memes still to continue. Couldn't quite find my way past this Aston Martin, seemed to be the widest car on the track, and eventually we do on the main straight, coming up towards a 911. A little bit late on the brakes, this Corvette, good speed car, and the brakes seem to be suffering a little bit as a result. James Bond looking up the inside, have to kind of give him space into the S's, then just about sweep ahead of him. Porsche all over the place. I'm going to go to the outside, and then a smoke screen has been deployed, out of which a Ferrari suddenly emerges, and well, he's done a nice 900 turn, but I've punted him back into the barrier. So sitting here now in 6th. We've been repassed by James Bond. We're going to get past that green Porsche. So we're going to kind of have to go past James Bond for the second time here. Just come through the long right onto the back straight. So this is, of course, the short configuration. And I've extended like a noob on the exit. Actually, the Aston Martin there with a decent top end just has no brakes or handling. So I'm not going to make the same mistake as the last lap. I'm just going to send it up the inside. He's got no brakes, so we can just quite easily get up the inside and reclaim my 4th position at the end of the second lap. So this is the 4th lap now, and coming into the chicane, and we're quite a long way off of 3rd, but this is the Ferrari who we had the incident with at the beginning of the second lap. But I'm just trying to go up the inside, and he just closed the door, but it's not really going to do anything other than send him way wide. And fast forward a little bit, and the welcome party continues, and we're going to see just someone drifting for no reason, and we're going to go past him in his Subaru, and we've got this Porsche to contend with, and you can see exactly what's going to happen. He's going to try to ram me, and you know, I'm a specialist in this exact thing here, because I know what's going to come, I know what's happening, so I know the deal here. Off you go, mate, and you too. So we scored a double whammy there. And we can reuse the good old Fast and Furious meme here. Perfect use for it. Oh, good times. Just a typical day in Forza Motorsport 7, where you're getting rammed off, people are crashing, people are rejoining at 90 degrees, and well, just all manner of depravity in all locations. So I'm going to try to have a good race here from pole position. Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. Gone for a German car around the German track. Porsche Carrera GT, one of my favourites actually, and this guy is going to come in for a nice overtake, but straight onto the grass on the other side. So keeping the 1st position, and from pole position it's just a matter of, well, A, avoiding all of the carnage, which is somewhat easy to do, but if people don't brake then there's always the chance. I mean, if I wasn't paying attention there, I could have easily been claimed by that sliding 911. Luckily I just spotted him come in. So we've got away cleanly, which is actually a surprise, because Nürburgring Grand Prix I actually rate it as one of the most carnage-filled first corners in the game, if not the worst. There are pretty bad ones. I mean, most tracks produce carnage on turn 1, we know that, but this track here with a very sharp hairpin, big braking zone tends to really top the list. But this time getting away with no scratches at all. So going through the hairpin up towards the Schumacher S, going to dip 2 wheels onto this curb and flick it around. Not quite as planted as let's say like a proper race car in our class. That's not to be expected though, with the S-Class cars sort of just beefing up a road car essentially. So quite often the brakes and the handling aren't quite up to scratch compared to the speed that they can produce. But so far performing well on this lap. We are being hunted down by someone here as we come round towards the final chicane on the lap, looking for the 2 boards on the right hand side. The first 2 boards there and there, braking about halfway between them. Can be quite hard to spot, but that is a good ideal braking point through the chicane nicely. And we're being hunted down by a Lotus Elise GT1, one of the few OP wagons of S-Class, but it didn't matter. We're going to flash forward to lap 3. I dealt with the threat, he couldn't keep up. Porsche Carrera GT doing the business as we cross the line to win. So next up, Le Mans. Le Mans without the chicanes on the straight. This is always a meme-filled race. This one always produces absolute carnage. You kind of got to go for the mix of speed in your car, but you're going to suffer through, let's say, like Porsche curves and under brakes. So I've gone for the Lotus Esprit, one of my go-to speed cars for S-Class. Going through the first turn, the Ferrari and that other guy there just pushing each other off. Really stupid driving. Porsche up the inside of me, and just trying to keep it nice and tidy, not spin around at all. We've done that. So down into third, courtesy mainly of the poor launch of the car, but once the car gets going on the back straight, we should be golden, absolutely golden to fly back past these people. So lots of people going for this 911. I don't quite know why. It's the new GT3 RS in the game, and a lot of people in this lobby were choosing it. It seems to be a very popular choice. I can't quite fathom why, because I don't think it really is one of the best cars. But anyway, you can now sort of get the hammer down, go easily flying past back him, and enter hyperspace mode, go flying past him as well. Lots of Porsches on offer, and down towards the kink in the straight. Just here, we're going to get caught by a Ferrari, so he's up the inside. So down into second. We've built up a nice buffer though to the rest of the group behind. And at the end of the straight, trying to search our braking point. Of course, we're going in there very quickly in cars which don't have great brakes. Punted in the rear end, but it's okay. Trying to head for the apex, and these proximity arrows tell me a nice story that someone has been punted like a snooker ball, and yes, that's confirmation of that. And some other guy just flying across the track there, forgetting to brake for probably the biggest braking zone on the circuit, and crossing the line eventually in first. So I thought I'll go with the Porsche because everyone was choosing it. Let's prove to them that you can win in the 911. I've gone for the nice pink pig. Flying pig livery, naturally, and sweeping around the outside up into second. I'm going to try and hunt down this Ferrari BBLM. BBLM, a very good handling car. Remember Forza 6, it was borderline overpowered, but I think it's just simply a very quick car in S-Class now. I think the cars such as the GT40, the Ferrari 330 I think it is, and the Lotus GT1, all very, very strong cars. BBLM perhaps not quite on that level anymore, but we're going to try to engage in battle against this BBLM in the Porsche 911. Going through into the Degner turns. Number 1, a little bit wide, but it's okay. Into number 2, trying to sort out our gearing, make sure we know which gear we're using through these turns. Up towards the hairpin, going to sweep very quickly to the right, onto the brakes just before the end of the curb. And he's braked quite early there, surprisingly, because I think that thing should have a lot better brakes than what I've got. Cutting back on the exit, it's going to be a drag race through this long right-hander here on the run towards Spoon. So it's actually quite hard on this game to kind of give each other space when you're going side by side. It's quite hard to be precise on the steering in that kind of situation there. So it's very easy actually to hit people laterally and knock each other off. But we've just about got the job done here. Don't get sucked off at Spoon. And on the exit, trying to maximise the track width, get on the power as early as you can, and you've got yourself a good run onto this long back straight towards 130R. Now I'm not expecting this car to do that great through here actually. But that BBLM should be a lot more planted and a little bit wider the apex, you can see. And they're going to be slow off the turn. And the BBLM has to go attacking around the outside, and he does quite a good job. Kind of cuts across, doesn't really leave me too much space, but I'm not too bothered. And on the exit of the chicane, well, he's just going to leave himself no space and just drive himself straight off the track. I really couldn't quite fathom why. And once again, similar story, end of the race, lap 3, and it's a comfortable win. Now this is a quick recap of something I think is really wrong with Forza Motorsport Online, which is the track voting. Now I don't mind doing an oval race every now and then, that's fine, but we'll see in just a moment what happens. So we pull away from the grid, and these two just kill each other as per usual. A little bit further round, we win, and then the race finishes. You vote for the next track. We vote for a random track. You get your money, whatever, and car floats a bit, and then you're back at the same circuit. I mean, that should never happen. That should quite simply never happen. So first off, you should never be at the same track, and then you should never be at the same track shouldn't come up within a couple of races as well. And VIR at night ideally shouldn't come up as well. This guy tried to swerve across, I don't know why, and then ended up actually killing him instead. And well, I actually got killed a little bit later on. He was looking comfortable, and then he just took a really weird line. I just didn't know what the hell he was doing. And I dropped down to 4th as a result of that. Got back past this S7 who was having a bit of a nightmare. I think he's recovering from a spin. And then eventually we finish. And we come here to a special little episode here of, can we at least get to the first corner of the week? Let's have a look. Around Bathurst, or Mount Panorama if you like. Pulling away from the line. And well, there it is, about 2.5 seconds into the race. Yeah, well done guys, very proud of yourself. Can't even make it to the first corner. So the answer is a resounding no, we can't. But we're going to move to the final race of the video, Monza. We all know what Monza means, and that is absolute death, carnage, and just all-round misery basically. Now at the start of the race I realised I had TCS on for some reason, so luckily you can actually change your assists. Going there's quick. Oh, not super easy, and manual with clutch as well. Okay, so I've lost a bit of time there, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter because this is Monza, and I'm just going to gain back all the time, and everyone kills each other at one of the chicanes. Not this chicane, because we're not running the first chicane. So the second chicane now becomes the first chicane through Curva Grande, and what kind of stuff are we going to be greeted by around here? Yeah, plenty of people off the track. We're going to have to swerve across onto the grass, grind across the barrier to get through that. A little bit of carnage. Peggy 18 through the chicane, actually cut that ruthlessly, and onto the tail of the McLaren into the Lesmos, and he just makes the wrong decision there. Goes left off the track. He should have slowed down and gone right. Stayed on the circuit, bails himself off for the greater good. Super GT comes through into 9th, then into 8th. That guy recovering from Lesmo 2. So you see there, I'm choosing the assists, and I'm already back into 8th, or make that 6th now. Someone else just crashing. It's like people just cannot give each other space. It is just so silly. It's just really so silly. All you have to do, look sideways, is better. I think people are just really thinking about themselves too much. Sometimes it's better to give someone space so that you preserve yourself. You see at the Watkins Glen start at the beginning of the video, I slowed down, just let everyone kind of do their thing, and then I made my way through. I didn't do it particularly quickly, but at least I didn't spin out, and that's the crucial thing in this game. Just make sure you don't end up facing the wrong way. Just slow down if you have to, do whatever you have to do. But whatever you do, don't engage in combat and start spinning yourself around with other people. That's the worst thing you can do. But anyway, there's lap 1 complete, up into 5th as a result of all of that anarchy. So we gained 12 positions after changing our assists at the start of the race for 5-10 seconds. So through Curva Grande, this corner is really very scary actually. When there's no first chicane, into the braking zone of the now first chicane, I suppose. I'm going to take this a little bit more conservatively this time, actually not cut the track limits. So we're gaining slowly on the back of the 2005 Ford GT. See if we can go about overhauling him and potentially grabbing a podium, because first, second and third aren't too far away. We still have 2 laps remaining after this one. You see here the Ford GT struggling through the Lesmos, But then on the straights, I think he just has the measure of me. You see just now beginning to pull away as we come up towards the Ascari chicane. Looking for the cut through on the right hand side, there's a little bit of tarmac. It's a good braking point as you go into that. So coming through here, just trying to keep it nice and planted, and it kind of just slowed down the apex. I couldn't quite make the most of it. I could have very easily gone to the back of him there, just having to get on the brakes to make sure that doesn't happen. We can be patient here. Still got 2 laps, and it looks like I am gaining on second, third. Don't know about first, but I think second is definitely possible here, at least. So taking a nice late apex, we can get the power onto the back straight. I'm going to tuck into the slipstream with this Ford. Not that slipstream really does too much in this game, quite annoyingly. I think it is definitely underpowered. It seems to almost have no effect, but if it has any effect, then you might as well try and get it for free. So down the back straight, or down the main straight actually, very long main straight now without that chicane. And it looks like we have a Viper, probably not the best car to choose for this track. Viper's typically more sort of handling orientated. And then into the chicane, I should have the better of him on the brakes. Yes, I do, easily around the outside. Up against the Viper now, goes very deep into the turn. I couldn't quite predict where he was going to go. So again, just playing it nice and safe there really. Could have easily tried to go around the outside or cut him back, and could have easily resulted in contact, which we do have there through Lesmo 1, but I'm just about going to keep the position into third. Second just going around Lesmo 2, so we're probably about 2-3 seconds behind him, or 3 or 4 seconds. Going to do our best to try to keep up. So again, just trying to make sure we can get away from the 2 behind. We don't really want to get caught up in their accidents, as we now try to seek a better position. So through there okay, and we just run a little bit too wide on the exit. That is going to cost me. I did lose a couple of miles per hour just grazing the gravel. So over the line to begin the final lap. Here we go now. Plenty more carnage as we come to lap these guys. So just typical stuff really. So coming up towards Curva Grande for the last time. I'm now up into second. So actually one of those guys spinning, I think, got involved with the back marker, or should I say the back marker, just deliberately punted them off most likely. Hashtag ghost back markers please. Into the first chicane. First apex nicely done, second apex Peggy 18, but we are slowly gaining on, I think it's the BMW, out in the lead. So through Lesmo 1, beautiful line, late apex, and get on the power nicely there. Into Lesmo 2, how are we going to engage this one? Getting 2 wheels up on that curve, really maximise the width. On the run up towards the Ascari chicane, I think the BMW actually very good in a straight line, which I'm surprised about. It must be a slightly different tune than normal. So through the Ascari chicane, not the best run for me, and we can maybe possibly put him under pressure into this final turn. There's only one more corner left on the race, and on this lap he's gone a little bit deep, so potentially could get a run if he makes a mistake on the exit. Let's see if we can tuck into his slipstream. On the way up to the finish line, it's not quite going to be enough as we just come up to the line now. So I'm going to finish first. Yeah, I'm going to finish first because I can hack the game and actually somehow finish ahead of him despite clearly being behind him on the line. So actually finished 7 tenths ahead there. Super GT hacker confirmed. Quite how that happened, I don't know. Well, just alien technology basically, just finished in front of people when they're clearly in front. But there we go, a quick little episode on my experience of Forza 7 on this fine, wonderful evening. I do hope you enjoyed it as always. Let me know your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you did enjoy the video, do hit the like button. Thank you all for tuning in as always. I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Listen.